I want to focus in on the latter part of that verse because this is the king's business. This is the king's business. It, listen, requires. This is not an optional thing. It requires haste. The word haste, another way of saying it, it actually translates into urgency. The king's business, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. His business is not secondary business. His agenda is not something that's a side dish to what we are supposed to be about in our lives. A Christian honors God and is a light in a dark world, and everything that they are and every success and every victory and everything about their life should bring glory and honor to Jesus Christ. And it's not about you. It's about reaching for those who are lost without God. I'm preaching today the urgency that is needed in this hour. His business has fallen upon us. We need to unbusy ourselves and make our number one priority, am I about the Father's business? Even Jesus, when he was 12 years old in the temple, was approached, and his mother and father were so upset with him because he had been missing for 3 days. And he looked at them strangely as though, don't you understand? I must be the 12-year-old Jesus, astounding the rabbis and the scholars of his day with interpreting the scriptures. And he said, Mother, don't you understand? Father, don't you understand? I must be about my Father's business. Can I tell you, if you're a business person, your job, whatever it is you do, your business, when you make your business His business, you will see the favor and the blessing of God come upon your life. And we need to open our eyes, listen carefully, to a sense of urgency. I want a sense of urgency as I preach to grip our hearts that this is not just any time that we're living in, but we must wake up to the urgency of the King's business. The King's business. It's not your priority number one, and the King is business and His kingdom is something way on down the line. Hell is not lackadaisical. Hell does not have a lukewarm attitude about its assignment, which John 10:10 said, the thief comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. We are under attack because, listen, hell is having a revival. What are we going to do? Are we going to sit around and curse the darkness, or are we going to turn on the light and recognize the King's business? The demons say our king, Satan, his business requires haste on our side, but the church is laid back about it, and we can't be. Let me show you how serious the revival hell is having is. According to Isaiah 5 and verse 14, hell hath enlarged itself. Listen to that. It's opening up its breath. Hell is in a building program. Hell has scaffolds and bulldozers and steel is going up to, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but really I'm not. That's a biblical principle. Hell is growing. Hell is increasing. Many churches are withering up and dying. Some have never recovered from, do you know 10,000 churches close a year in America? There are only 360,000 churches, and 10,000 a year close the doors while hell is enlarging itself. We must never stop forgetting that there is a real place called hell. Jesus taught about it continually. He warned people that if you do not have your name written in the Lamb's book of life at judgment day, the great white throne judgment, He will say to those who do not have their name, depart from me, be cast into the lake of fire where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's why the King's business takes urgency. It takes haste. We must reach. We must, as Jude said, pluck them out of the fire. The grave with its grassy teeth is ready to pull young and old and teenagers and young people. And even hell, the flames are reaching. And he said, I want a generation to pluck them out of the fire. I believe today that hell is not on a sabbatical. Marriages are under attack. Marriages and families and children are under attack. Satan destroys somebody and he doesn't take a sabbatical. He turns and says, let's go get some more. Let's go get some more. Let's go get some more. That urgency I don't see in the kingdom. That urgency I don't see in the church. I hope that my preaching provokes you to action, because we're all headed to eternity, and you're going to heaven or you're going to hell. And the same is true for everybody that you see and you know. Your family, we need an urgency about it. We need something to grip our heart.